For Grts News, I am Fatou Jassi.
The West African Insurance Institute on Friday graduated its 33rd batch of students. The event, which brought together officials from member countries, among them commissioners of insurance firms, marks the formal completion of programs in areas such as insurance, marketing and law. Modelamin Sise tells us more.
The authority of the Academic Board and the Governing Council, I present to you this candidate from the West African Insurance Institute, Banjul, the Gambia, those of them who are here present and those unavoidably absent, for whom I stand proxy, who have been found worthy, both in character and in learning.
Celebrate, we sung the victory song, why he has become the pride of Africa.
They are students drawn from the 5 Anglophone West African countries that constitute the membership of the West African Insurance Institute. Today they are graduating with diploma certificates in insurance, marketing and law. Out of the 82 graduating students, 67 are trained in insurance, obviously reflecting the actual motive that set up the Regional Training Institute over 34 years ago. In delivering his State of the Institute address, Professor Mike Ikipolati, Director General and Head of the Y Mission, said with the support of the Gambia government and the insurance industry, the institute, which enjoys a diplomatic status, has a good prospect.
We are particularly grateful, as always, to the government and people of the Gambia for their hospitality and support. Most especially, we express our deep appreciation to our Grand Patron and the President of the Republic of the Gambia, His Excellency, Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahaya AJJ Jammeh. We are also expressing our humble appreciation to the various presidents and government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Republic of Ghana, Republic of Liberia, Republic of the Sierra Leone, and our host, the Gambia.
One of those credited for contributing to laying the foundation of Y's glorified future is Mambu Njai, the immediate past chairman of the Institute's governing council. His message to the graduating students is for them to keep pushing and not feel complacent with the certificates they have just achieved.
The human mind is a wondrous thing. It is restless, always eager for action. So rest not on your oars or always strive to achieve the best you can in everything you do. Whilst you have been here, you have developed analytical skills, but that alone won't get you through. You must be very smart. Therefore, you would need to develop some discernment, some practical common sense education.
Mambu Njai, however, called on member countries of Y to send more students to the institute in order to improve what he described as the current unimpressive enrollment rate.
We are still not very satisfied with our enrollment levels and would like to appeal to you that our doors are still open, and I plead for your kind backing. Y exists for you, and it is through your support that the institute will flourish.
The graduating students were awarded certificates in 3 grades: lower credit, upper credit, and distinction. The most outstanding students, both in overall performance and individual subject area performance, went home with cash prizes sponsored by different insurance companies and organizations from Anglophone West Africa. Ghanaian Mrs. Mildred Dede Mateye, who graduated with a diploma in insurance, is the best graduating student, and in her speech, she called on her colleagues to live up to the standards expected of them, noting that the school has put what is right into them.
I charge us to be worthy ambassadors, always projecting the good image of the Institute to the outside world and in all our endeavors. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that the awareness, knowledge, and practice of insurance in this sub-region can be likened to a young plant which needs to be nurtured into maturity and fruit-bearing.
After 34 years of existence, the West African Insurance Institute is moving speedily. The latest on its academic menu is the collaborative offering of bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees in law. The institute's current campus is also being upgraded to the status of a university, thanks to the generosity of the president of their host country, His Excellency Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya AJJ Jammeh. Modula Minsise, Grts News.
The Assembly of Gambian Muslim Youths, AGAME, recently organized a symposium with their visiting Turkish colleagues on a wide range of topics regarding the advancement of the Muslim youth. Our Fatu just listened to deliberations, and this is her report.
Assembly of Gambian Muslim Youths. The association is aimed at creating awareness among Muslim youths on the moral teachings of Islam. The group today, in collaboration with their Turkish colleagues, organized an Islamic conference for its members. Prominent speakers delivered lectures on topics such as Islam and democracy in a globalized world, mode of dressing for Muslim youth, among other relevant subjects.
Political philosophy of Islam, meaning the art of governing in Islam, were developed. So Islamic constitutional principles in the past, Islam developed some constitutional principles to take care of its art of governing. The Prophet ﷺ, if you read the Quran and you read the Sunnah of the Prophet in its totality, you can detect, or at least deduce, about 4 fundamental constitutional principles. The principle of Shura, Ashura, is there. The principle of Ummah, for example, is there. The principle of Al-Bay'ah is there, and the principle of Al-Khilafah is there. These are 4 fundamental constitutional Islamic principles that were developed during the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and each one of them can take a lecture by itself.
Dr. Jha also dilated on some social moral values, on how such values contribute to upbringing of Muslim girls, whilst advising them not to allow anything beyond the teachings of Islam influence their lives.
I would like to draw your attention to the fact that we Muslims have become so impoverished, so much so that we do no longer measure things within the parameters of Islam. Most of the time, when we talk about other concepts, we start measuring Islam against those concepts. But what we as Muslims should do is to measure anything, any concept, any activity, any behavior against the parameters of Islam. If they fit those parameters, we accept them. If they don't fit those parameters, we reject them.
Osman Yapa is one of the scholars from Istanbul University who was invited to make deliberations at the conference. He gave a brief history of the prominent Islamic scholar of Turkey, who according to him endured a lot during his era.
His lifestyle covered a span of very interesting and revolutionary events. Initially, he saw the last decades of the Ottoman Empire, and then the collapse after the First World War, and the setting up of the Republican period. And especially the first 25 years of the Republican era in Turkey were very difficult because of the anti-Islamic measures the new government applied, because they wanted to make it a secular state, and also made a lot of bans on Islamic code of dress, Islamic script, Islamic publications and other things.
The conference coincides with the group's anniversary celebrations, and according to members, the scholars during their 2-week stay will hold several lectures in the country. For Grts News, I am Fatu Jassi.
Well, you can also follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website, which is at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio live. Well, we go with our very first break now. The news continues in just a moment.
Allah, Allah. It's traditional that your national GSM provider, Gamcell, takes many of its valuable customers to Mecca each year. This year again, Gamcell will offer 10 more of its valuable customers a complete Hajj package in a draw to be held live on GRTS television. Yes, your Hajj is possible by simply loading $50 scratch card or Nopal. You can win not only a return ticket to Mecca, but also $1,000 travel allowance, food and accommodation in Medina and Mecca. Remember, the more you load $50 scratch card or Nopal, the more you increase your winning chance. With Gamcell, your Hajj is now easier. Gamcell, yay baron.
Welcome back. The newly elected president of Senegal is leading a high-powered delegation on a visit to Paris. The visit is the second in 3 months by Macky Sall since he came to power. Addressing the press in the French capital, Sall says he